Tony Hillery is going to make me cry too, because I've known him for a long time, and to see how his organization Harlem has grown has been really amazing. He's the founder and CEO. He's an author. He's an educator and a true advocate for food systems that nourish all eaters of all ages and heal the planet. He's a longtime friend of Food Tank. Please welcome him to the stage.
Hey, look at all the food warriors here.
Right,
hey,
right.
I'm in the right place.
You totally are. So Tony's whole life has been really about creating Harlem Grown in a way that, where sustainability is at the core of what you do. And I'm wondering if you can elaborate on that. Why was sustainability at the core of what Harlem Grown does?
Well, to be totally truthful, it's because of necessity. We had no money. We were in the middle of Harlem, and we had all these children who obviously needed support. They needed connection. They needed purpose. And we found it in an empty lot right across the street from the first school that we were volunteering in. And what do they say? The rest is history. So we started with growing a little vegetable garden, and then we started composting. Then we started catching rainwater for irrigation. And the funny thing happens when you grow vegetables with children, they like it. But in Harlem, you can't buy it at affordable prices. So what to do? It caught us in this dilemma.
Sure.
So that's the growth that we're talking about now, starting with that first vegetable garden. Now we have 14, 2 hydroponic facilities, 3 hydroponic facilities, and growing tons of food, but we're really growing people, so.
And talk more about that. You're not growing food. You're growing these young people to be incredible students and adults.
Yes, it's easy to grow vegetables, right? I mean, I never planted anything in my life. It's not a secret. Anybody who knows me, this is all an accident. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend. But the children gravitated to it, and it was their sole purpose. And like my tagline says, we plant fruits and vegetables. It's pretty obvious, but we do grow people. We have 52 full-time employees from Harlem. No previous work experience necessary. If I could do it, anyone can do it. And those original kids were, many of you who knew me from the beginning, you know the kids I'm talking about. We have 22 kids, first generation and 4-year universities through this program. 1 in UPenn, 2 in NYU. So
round of applause for that.
Yeah. Hey, for them, not me. I didn't do it. They did it. But that's the way a lot of us look at communities like that. We look kind of past the people because we have our preconceived notions of said communities. There's no lack of intelligence or creativity. There's an abundance of that, but it's solely a lack of access and opportunity. So Harlem Grown created a bridge from down here to up there because all of our corporate partners come up in there and do days of service with our kids. Without that farm, they would never meet anyone like us. So that's how we get the kids to college. It's not just waving a magic wand, just go to college. I mean, if it's that simple, we all would have did it, me included. I didn't go. But I'm not letting them make the same mistakes.
It's so inspiring, and I have loved you for a long time because of this. I'm wondering if you can talk about how the organization is redirecting surplus food to the community and sort of the vast amount of what you're able to do.
Well, it all, like everything here, was an accident. So during COVID, all the kids we serve go to school for reading, writing, and arithmetic, and breakfast, lunch, and supper in school. So when COVID happened, they closed schools. How do we shelter in place knowing that your kids are not eating? So we started a little food pantry that we set up outside. And we thought that would be the end of it when COVID stopped. but no, it was just the beginning. So now it's just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. So every Wednesday and Saturday we have our free farmers markets. So here's a mathematical equation for all you mathematicians. We only grow 6,000 pounds of produce a year collectively. But last year, we distributed 122,000 pounds of fresh produce.
Say that again.
122,000 pounds of fresh produce. How do you do that, right? It's not magic. We work with third parties. In our case, we work with Sharing Access, Rap for Bronx, 99 Problems out in Queens. And they donate food that normally would go to the landfill. I mean, we know that 40% of the food grown in this country is thrown away. that's not exempt at Hunts Point Market, where they throw away so much food. And guys, I heard a rumor in the very beginning that the reason why communities like where I work are food deserts is because people don't like fruits and vegetables. Can you believe that? People actually told me that, local politicians, that I'm banging their doors down. We have 700 people a week line up for this fruits and vegetables in the cold, in the rain, in the heat, right? They want it, they want it badly, but how do you get it in a community where it's not available? So they come to us. And I think we can give away double that if we had the capacity.
Yeah. You mentioned the partners you're working with. That collaboration is really key and to the heart of what you do.
Oh, yeah. We couldn't do it without them. I mean, that's why I come to things like this. I go to conferences because that's where you meet your colleagues. I met Harry. We have mills at all of our sites. In the schools, the kids are doing all of this stuff from as young as pre-K. This is every day. So it's not just growing people, but we're really growing as children who are advocates for themselves, their community, and more importantly, the planet. And if you do it at that age, it just becomes habit forming.
It is. It's like that ritual, that habit that we
Absolutely.
talked about before.
Absolutely.
And it's so important at a young age. I'm wondering if you can share some anecdotes about the kids that you've worked with and some of your favorite stories.
Don't make me cry.
I like to, though.
Don't make me cry. Everybody knows the story, right? It started with this little girl. She was in kindergarten, the littlest kid in the school. She was the muse. She's our logo. She's on everything we do. Anyway, I moved her into college in August, so from kindergarten to college. And listen to this, her first semester, she got an academic achievement award. Let me tell you about my three biological kids who went to private school, kindergarten to college. Their first semester, we got notices, right? It's like, hey, you got to manage your time, you know? I just want to show you this contrast, right? And that's where I'm at. I'm in this middle here, juggling these two realities, right? And these Harlem-grown kids, I tell you, you've never met anything like it. 22, all the 22 original kids.
Yeah.
4-year university, one is pursuing her PhD, right?
That's amazing.
So it's easy to plant seeds and vegetable seeds, right? It's hard to grow people. So that is our focus. And if anybody here has the time, please come up and see what I'm talking about, because it shows much better than I tell it.
I don't know about that, but the showing is believing for sure.
It does.
I'm wondering, I want you to leave a call to action to this audience. These are all people who are committed. They care about preventing food loss and waste. Many of us feel powerless, though, when we go home. We get all energized at these conferences, but then we don't know what to do.
Well, I always say just do something, right? Everybody here gets up every day and walks outside, and something just burns your ass. And you ask yourself the same question: when is someone going to do something about that? Whatever that is, I guarantee you the moment you start doing something about that, someone's going to join you, because you're not alone. And if you're not careful, it'll be your own Harlem grown, because that's what happened with this lot across the street. The kids call it the haunted garden. It was right across from the elementary school. I started cleaning it up. Every day the kids would come over and help me. At the end of 6 weeks, me and 50 little kids pulled everything out. And then Nevaeh pulls on my pants leg and says, why don't we plant something? I never planted anything in my life, but you can't tell that to this kid, right? So we planted herbs, and here it is 14 years later with 14 farms, tons of 12,000 kids a year. Can you believe that? And that's what activism looks like. And we are the change we seek. We are the ones, right? All this noise that we see every day are all distractions. The work that we all do in here is the resistance. So don't be despair. Don't be down. Look up. Keep your head down. Do the work, and that's what's going to get us through these next 4 years.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely. Wonderful point to end on. I want to present you with this cutting board and your 2025 Waste Warrior Award. Thank you, Tony Hillery. Please give him a round of applause.
Thank you all. Hey, I have some seed packets for everybody, so please don't leave without the seeds, okay?
Yay, thank you, Tony.